هون بجبل عمان فيه شوف كل المدينة حلوة كتير.
The military is going to tell me to get out of this area.
So that's Iran right over there. Agora que você não mora aqui, ando bem pra cá muito.
My corner shot! Muhammad's going to let me shoot his gun into the air, right? Welcome to Yemen! واحد مرة صومالي. واحد هلا صوماليات.
Rwanda. You've heard of it. 1 million lives taken and 2 million displaced in just 100 days. "25 years ago, the world watched as some of the worst atrocities and human rights violations spread to every city and town throughout this country. 25 years later, and this nation is still healing. But that is another story. This is a story of a metamorphosis, an unimaginable change that 25 years ago would have seemed anything but possible.
Kwibuka! It means to remember in Kinyarwanda. 25 years after the genocide here, this country has completely transformed. And it is amazing. Welcome to Rwanda.
One of the top 5 fastest growing economies in the world, the highest percentage of females in parliament in any country on earth, a nationwide ban on single-use plastics. Rwanda has made some serious economic, social, and environmental moves since 1994 and has stepped into the spotlight on the global stage. Literally. With a major boom in the creative sector over the last decade, Rwanda is quickly rising as one of the top fashion hubs in the world, and its capital, Kigali, is at the heart of it. I met up with Pierra and Moses, entrepreneur and CEO of Haute Baso, one of the top fashion brands in the country, perhaps most widely known for its dedication to women empowerment and social change. You know, I think maybe when a lot of people think of Rwanda, if they've never been here, they don't know much about it, they might think of one thing, and that's the genocide that happened 25 years ago. But the country has completely transformed, and Kigali has completely transformed. You know, it's booming for business, for entrepreneurs, and fashion is a great example of that as well. I think when the average person thinks of fashion, maybe cities that come to mind might be Paris, maybe Milan, maybe New York City, but Kigali?
Yeah, I think there's like a totally new hub in the region, and Kigali just happens to be it. I think we've been doing a lot of work to elevate the fashion industry in Rwanda, and we're, I guess, fortunate enough to be part of that movement. Haute Baso was founded on this principle that 2 heads are better than 1, so essentially collaboration and partnership with artisans and really trying to use fashion as a vehicle for positive change, and that's really why we focus on empowering women and youth as well.
You know, I think there might not be a lot of other companies that are, you know, firm in, you know, their beliefs, and they put their beliefs out there and what their company stands for. Why is that important for Haute Baso to do that?
I think it's really important for us to be very open about our values, because one, it is a women-run business, so really like it's about supporting ourselves too. So I think that's something that is always really important for us, especially as a fashion brand. I think it's really important nowadays to have a certain set of values and be very like open about those values when you're trying to build a really sustainable business. We actually practice what we preach. The business environment is quite favorable for entrepreneurs in general, and then there's added support for women and youth as well because of the role that women play in the home and in the community. You still find in a lot of rural parts of the country, women are the sole breadwinners of the family. So if you empower women, you're actually empowering a household, you're empowering a community. It makes sense to support women also in business because of the impact that will have in the development of our country.
Bomber jacket? Haute Baso. What do you guys think?
We have our one physical store, and then we also have our workshop that's also nearby. We work with over 300 artisans from across the country, most of which are women, and they focus primarily on doing our accessories and our home decor items. And then we also have another team of tailors that work locally that focus mainly on our apparel. So the majority of the items that the tailors work on are ready to wear, so that goes directly to the shop. And then we also have fashion shows that we participate in, and those are the items that are more to highlight our brand and our aesthetic. We found a way to merge traditional skill sets with modern pieces, and I think that's what makes it very unique, because there is that collaboration with artisans and designers.
I sat down with a few of the artisans to try my luck at handcrafting one of the many Haute Baso fashion accessories. Needless to say, my subpar dexterity did not impress much.
I'll give it back to the professional.
In 2015, the Rwandan government launched the Made in Rwanda initiative, which aims to boost the local market through support of private business, aiding young entrepreneurs with the necessary funding to start a business, and encouraging citizens to shop local Rwandan brands. Proudly contributing to the Made in Rwanda movement is Moshions, one of the leading fashion lines in Rwanda. My stylist for the day, Moshions CEO and founder Moses Turahirwa. Moses invited me to the Moshions shop to learn more about his company and what it's like being a young entrepreneur in Rwanda today.
You know, it's interesting being here in Kigali 2019 and seeing all this business growth and entrepreneurs. I mean, you're an entrepreneur, you are a CEO and founder of Moshions. What is it like to be an entrepreneur in Kigali in 2019?
I would say it's both hard and easy. So it always depends on, first of all, to be an entrepreneur in any field in Rwanda. I think there is easy ways of registering a company and start to be an entrepreneur in any field that you want to be. I think you need to know where you're going, what you want to be. Like, you don't want to create a fashion brand like mine. You just have to feel like, is it your passion? Is it something that you dream to do? Is it something that you really want to do? So I think it's really easy for anyone in Rwanda to be an entrepreneur, but it's hard to maintain yourself as an entrepreneur and being able to maintain whatever field you are in. So in 2015, I started to register it as a fashion business, as a fashion company. From there, I started to root from around the culture, the heritage, trying to know about the cultural motifs, what we used in decorations, some of the traditional techniques that I could adopt to my fashion business or to my brand, because I wanted Moshions to be renewed and I wanted Moshions to be birthed with something completely different with the fashion scene that was existing. I wanted to create a Made in Rwanda brand, contemporary, but rooting from the culture, rooting from the Rwandan heritage.
So I know Moshions has done a lot of showcases around the world in other countries, other places. You've also been featured in magazines, and you guys are big time, and not just in Kigali, not just in Rwanda, but around the world. You're representing, a lot. You're representing, again, not just Rwandan fashion, but fashion outside of Paris and Milan. I guess, what does that mean to you? That's a big deal.
When I started doing this business and when I started doing fashion, I wanted to be recognized. I wanted my work to be recognized internationally by different people as well. So whenever I get a chance to showcase my work on international platforms, I feel like I'm representing my country, I'm representing my continent as an African, to be able to have our work seen out there. It's a big achievement for me. So it's always an honor when someone sees our work and be like, okay, is this brand African? Is it from Rwanda? And then they happen to discover that in Africa we have also the existing fashion scene that's within Africa, and some unique patterns, some unique fabrics that are crafted in Africa, and that carries the pride of Africa to the international market. And we are able now to represent on the international market, on the international fashion scene, together with Paris and Milan, fashion cities that we know. I feel like it's a huge impact to my work, it's a huge impact to my country, and it's a huge impact to my continent.
So what's the future of Rwandan fashion?
Fashion as a very promising industry in Rwanda. In the next few years, I see that it will be very booming. I see that it will be a very good center of attraction for everyone. And I'm really proud to be one of the pioneers that have been in the fashion scene, seeing its growth and contributing to its growth. So I'll be so happy and glad to see the outcome in the next few years when we will have young billionaires of fashion entrepreneurs.
Umwe umurimo gukunda igihugu. Unity, work, patriotism. The national motto of Rwanda. Somehow, some way, with the direction of government-led initiatives for healing and reconciliation, this nation, 25 years later, has reached a remarkable degree of unity. Rwanda is not merely the rural highlands home to the mountain gorilla safaris anymore, but also home to world-leading environmental and social activism, successful entrepreneurs and the world's next billionaires. Businessmen and women like Pierra and Moses are not only actively involved in the Made in Rwanda movement, employing local artisans and outsourcing local products, they are paving the way for the next generation of young Rwandans and their success. While political opinions about the country's future may vary, one thing is undisputable. The progress of this nation and the successes of its citizens were made in Rwanda. Well, so then that, all right, so that, what did I say?
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. I told you it's weird, right?
And the way I see it, I'm, wait. Okay, cool.
How many outtakes have we done? I told Moses that he can dress me in anything that he wants to show the world. We're gonna get me decked out in Moshions apparel.
Yeah, in the Moshions traditional wear, this Moshanana.
You have to pick like very specifically. You only get two choices, right? No pressure, man. Tell me about the background of Haute Baso.
That's something that we really strive to always.
You're like, yeah, totally.
Yeah, totally.
Well, that leads me to my next question. I'm not gonna say that because it just sounds dumb. That leads me to my next question. Definitely, yeah, perfect. If not, that's okay. I can pretend like I'm doing something else. I can like hold that or something. I have to look like I'm doing something. She wants to get in this. I know she wants to get in this. How dare you leave me out of this?